Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ed August, board member.
Lieutenant Michael Jackson, Fire Code Unit.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Jay Scurria, Department of License and Inspections.
Okay, Jeremy, raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Do.
Okay, Jace, go ahead.
All right, this is BBS case number MI-2021-004177 for 1348 Webster Street. This is also BBS case number MI-2021-004178 for 1350 Webster Street. And there's also BBS case number MI-2021-004179 for 1352 Webster Street. And for the record, can you please state your name?
Jeremy Lecomte of Harmon Deutsch Architecture, Harmon Deutsch Older.
Okay, Jeremy, it's your time.
Okay, am I able to share screen or is
Yes.
that? Okay. So let me not. Okay, can you see the street view image in front of me?
We see the building now.
Okay, so the issue here is that our site was designed relying upon an alley between this existing structure to our east and our proposed structures. There is an alley there, a deeded alley that straddles the two properties. It's a 30-inch wide alley, 15 inches are on our property and 15 inches are on the neighbor's property. However, we became aware very late in the game that the structure that was constructed to the east of us encroaches that alley by approximately 50% of its width. So while it appears that there is alley there, the legal width has been reduced to about 1'3" as a result of the construction of this adjacent structure. Let me show you so this is the zoning site plan that was approved prior to our building permit application. You can see.
We still see the picture. We don't see your zoning site plan.
Oh, I might have to stop sharing it. Sorry. Let's try that again. Okay, so this is our zoning site plan. Can you see that now?
Not yet. Yes, now we can.
Okay. So this 30-inch space between the structures here is the structure I'm referring to.
Mhm.
Was compromised by 1346. So the result is I have half of a clear alley left to provide a path to the street from our rear yard, which is why we have a refusal. So I think we have a true hardship for my client in this case. We became aware of this very late. There is still a path to the street while it's narrower than one would like through this alley. And the structure to our west is actually an open parking lot, which serves a Dunkin' Donuts. So there is an ability currently to access the right of way from the west side of the property as well. I will show you. One second.
Jeremy, would your client be willing on the ground floor to give that alleyway back some more room? I think 15 inches is, nobody can pass through that easily.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's a kind of a tall ask because we already have all of the zoning approvals in place and our construction documents are completed and submitted. So it would be a large step backwards for our client. So she is hoping to avoid that position. It would also create a zoning refusal because we'd be creating a non-compliant side yard if we did that. And I think we'd end up at the zoning board requesting a variance for the condition.
Conversely, could you get an easement from the, you said Dunkin' Donuts site to allow, permanent egress through their lot?
Our owner has not requested a formal easement from the Dunkin' owner at this point. I can't guarantee she'd be able to secure that.
Conversely, on the commercial space next to that open, parking lot, could the ground floor be, could you provide a 3-foot alley out to Webster Street, essentially undercutting this, the upper floors that you're building? And one sidebar question, you weren't the architects for the building that is encroaching, on the alley, were you?
No, no. Or at least I hope not. I didn't check.
I'm
Can
guessing
you
you'd
see
have the
the
same
aerial
issue.
photo? Can you see
What
the
was that?
aerial photo that I'm showing? I currently have an
Yes.
aerial photo up, but I'm.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, my hope was that the other part of the story is that both the adjacent lots where the Dunkin' Donuts are and our lot have significant soil contamination. So I think the odds of it being redeveloped in the future are lower because there would be significant remediation costs associated with any change to this adjacent property. Not to say that it couldn't happen, but I think that makes the chances of redevelopment lower. So I'm hoping to,
Your lot
rely
from
on
getting,
this. Sorry,
it didn't stop your lot from getting redeveloped.
correct. Well, our lot is vacant, so I
Okay.
think the improvements are a little bit different, but
Is that why you don't have a basement?
yes, yeah, we have a slab on grade foundation to minimize the earth disturbance due to the contaminated soils.
Wait, is it a mat slab that you're building for the buildings?
Correct. Correct, yes.
I mean, do you think that it would have to go back to zoning if you took that property line wall down next to the parking lot and then created the alley, on your site, but still sort of within the footprint of the building?
Okay, I see what you're saying. Create like a 15-inch cantilever condition at the upper floors and create a half tunnel, half open air.
Well,
condition.
that was one thought if it was over on the side next to
This side.
15.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Conversely, on the, sorry. Hang on one sec. Trying to come back to the meeting. Yeah. If on the parking lot side, that would be essentially a 3-foot alley, with the wall coming all the way down to grade from up above, not cantilevering.
Right.
I don't know whether that would make it less zoning problematic,
If it's under our building, yes, it would be less problem for our zoning permit. So, yeah, I think
Well,
there's a
that's all I was
possibility.
talking about for the increasing the other alley. That's all I was talking about was on the ground floor. Let the building cantilever over and take that space on the second and third floor, or however many floors this is. But just on the ground floor, create that alley.
Yeah, it's more difficult architecturally, it's more difficult on the east side because our staircases are positioned up against that wall, so it would be a more significant change to the building design. Yes, it's certainly possible. It's just a significant change at this point in the game.
Yeah, the other one, since it's a wider building, it seemed like it might be easier to do it there.
Yeah, essentially an interior corridor that would
Yeah.
be open for access from the yard.
Yeah.
It'd just be at the first story, Jeremy, so you wouldn't have any issues with zoning.
And then the rear yards, you'd have a gate between the 3 properties so they could all access that, even though the other 2 already can access the skinny line or the skinny alley.
Yeah, we were planning to keep the 3 buildings connected via the rear yard so they could all get to the same path to the right of way that ended up being compromised.
And these are not being sold off as condos, correct? They're going to be held by the owner?
That's currently the plan. I
Okay.
promise that will happen in the future. Let me flip to that. Oh, was that the ground? Yeah, so this is the ground floor plan, if you can see that.
Mhm.
So we're talking about either creating a 3-foot interior corridor here.
Right.
Or a 15-inch setback here.
Correct. I like the one on the left better because you're actually connecting to an alley that's in the back, but is the alley at the rear a full 30 inches? It sounds like it is, or 36.
Yeah, the one behind us is 2'2".
But two, yeah.
The adjacent alley that's compromised is 2'6".
Yeah, something said 20 inches somewhere was, you were saying it's actually only 15?
I don't have the true dimension of the encroachment. The surveyor did not confirm that. He estimated it was 50% of the original alley width, so
Got it.
it's estimated at a 1'3" encroachment.
I think it's gonna have to go one way or the other, because I don't think I'm willing to give a variance to use the 15-inch alley as a means of egress.
Yeah, I would agree.
If the owner could secure document permission from the owner of the adjacent property to use their parcel as a path of egress, would that also be an option?
Meaning Dunkin' Donuts?
Yeah,
It would have to be a recorded easement.
Right.
right. I'm not sure whether they'd be willing to do that or not.
Well, that's three choices.
Okay. Okay, well, if these, yeah. If those are our options, then that's what I will have to present to the owner as our options to comply.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, that was the only refusal, so.
Okay. So, I guess you gotta decide what you're gonna do. One of the three.
So do you want to withdraw this application, or do you want us to just, we're gonna not accept it?
Well,
We're gonna deny it
Can you
or continue it?
approve are you able to approve with a proviso to comply with one of these options or one of the three of these options we discussed?
yeah, because Amy, I think the easement option would have to be a proviso. The making the other two, making it comply, I don't think necessarily needs a variance, but at the end of the day, the easiest thing is just to give them the three choices, and they'll be submitting it to the plans examiner with whichever of those they elect to go with.
Jeremy, are these on individual lots?
No, it's 3 buildings on one lot.
Okay.
We have 3 different case numbers, so they're gonna eventually be 3 individual buildings.
No, well, yes, they are 3 independent buildings separated by firewalls, but they're on one parcel. There were 3 permit applications. We applied for the buildings under individual permits.
Okay.
Same guy own all three of these?
Yes,
And is he looking to sell them?
that's their current plan, but I can't
You
guarantee
can't
they
live in all
won't
three,
change their mind in the
so-
future. Yeah, the owner's current plan is to rent.
Okay. All right, you got one of 3 options. And we're gonna continue this? Is that what we said, Amy?
Well, no, but Jace, is that too much for a proviso for a plans examiner?
No, I think if you just put in application be granted if the following provisos are
One of the following provisos.
the following provisos are addressed, and if not,
Okay.
we can do it that way.
And just to be clear, what would we consider an adequate alley? Would it be 30-inch or 36-inch?
Usually you're supposed to have an egress width of 36 inches, but the board can recommend.
Right.
They had a 36, if they had a 30-inch alley, will we give it okay on that?
No, I kind of want to get my tape measure out and see what 30 inches looks like.
30 inches is fine, but I mean, I would think if it was on the one, if you're expanding the existing alley, I think making it effectively 30 inches would be okay over there. I mean, the other one, I could see it either way. I mean, in that
Right,
case,
well-
it would be a variance permitting a 30-inch wide alley, you know, or on either side of the building, or an easement, a recorded easement, you know, through the adjacent property. So those are all variances if we do it that way.
So is that how we're gonna write it up? One of the three provisos? We give a variance on it? And then if they would have to come, would Jeremy have to come back here?
If he doesn't comply with any of those three
If
providers.
if you don't comply with either one of them, he's have to come back. But if he complies with one of them, it's good.
Yep.
Good enough, Jeremy?
Yes,
Okay,
thank you.
here we go. All right, guys. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your time.
Thanks,
Okay.
Jeremy. All right, Debbie, you can stop recording.